Hey guys, Logan here, and today we're going to be talking about my Captain America Winter Soldier movie review. Now, just so you guys know, this is just my opinion. I'm not trying to start any arguments. I'm not trying to do any of that. I just clearly just want to start this movie. And two, just a spoiler alert. Unfortunately, I wanted to do this review without spoilers, but unfortunately, if I'm going to be doing a book to comparison, book to movie review, I'm going to be um, unfortunately going to have to give away spoilers. So please, if you haven't watched the movie, please just exit out this video right now and come back and watch it. Come back and watch it again, obviously. But yeah, if you haven't watched this movie, watch the Captain America Winter Soldier movie. Exit out this video right now. So anyway, on to review. I thought Captain America Winter Soldier was a good movie. I think Marvel's definitely been stepping up their game. I think it's a good movie. Uh, one thing I liked about this movie that I think that they captured very well with Captain America was the fact that Cap uh, uh, that Captain America was idealistic, that he's very patriotic. He wants to work alongside the government. He wants to believe that America is this great place. It's the greatest country in the world, and all that stuff. And that's what he was like in the 40s. But then when he comes to modern times, he realizes that things have changed. The government has changed. People have changed. And these days, government are only out for their own interests. They don't care. They don't really care that much about casualties or any of that. Just as long as they're only looking out for their interests and not for the betterment of the whole. Um, and that's one thing that they captured quite well. I remember I was watching a review the other day from a different YouTube channel. And they were talking about the same thing, and then I thought about it, and they did that very well. That in the first movie, he believes in America, he believes in the government, he believes in peace, and that and saving the day and everything. And then in the modern times, he tries to do the right thing, but he always ends up going against the government, even though that he wants to work alongside with them. And that's what they did very well, especially with like Shield. Because I remember when the movie started, Captain America goes on this mission with Black Widow and this attack team, and they go on this boat to go save these casualties. And then anyway, Captain America is just told with his mission, just capture this guy, capture this terrorist, save these civilians. That's your mission. And then Captain America's like, okay, fine, that's no problem. And then afterwards, he finds they're about to get out of the evacuate, and then he goes looking for Black Widow, and then Black Widow's copying this information down from this Shield database, and apparently she's got this completely different mission. And then he goes shouting at Fury, saying that I can't do this if the people on my team who are below my rank have missions of their own and don't have the same mission as me. I can't work with this, and I think that was pretty good, And then throughout the movie, Captain America starts to realize that the world's changed. He can't trust the government anymore, and it was they captured it very, very well. I think they did a very good job of that. And yeah, the movie was good. The Winter Soldier is badass. I love the Winter Soldier. They did such a good job with him. They did a great job with his costume and some of his lines. He doesn't talk much in the movie, but that's only because in the comic book he hardly talked. Also, there's only like one or two times when he said talks, and usually it's just like one sentence or something. Yeah, he's a bit of a silent bad guy. He's not very not the Joker. Not a very talkative guy. But yeah, they did a very good job. I do think though they could have gone a bit more detail with how Bucky becomes a Winter Soldier, because they covered the whole thing about the fact that he gets captured by enemy soldiers. He gets a robotic arm. They give him this robotic arm, and they turn him into this assassin who's been killing people over 50 years. But they were very vague with it. They were very, very vague. They didn't go into too much detail. I remember in the comic book there was this part where Steve Rogers was out for a jog, and then he comes into his apartment, and then there's this weird file in his there's this weird file in his apartment, and then he reads it, and then he goes into complete detail about Winter Soldier and about what happened to him and the details of the experiments they did on him and everything. And like in the file, they report all these different assassinations that he does. And then I remember there was this one point in the file where they talk about how Winter Soldier, well, how he completed an assassination, and then he went rogue like a year or so. He like went rogue, didn't went off. You know, they couldn't find him and everything. They only found him a year later, and then they find him and he has no recollection. And then when they find him and they ask him why did you leave? He's like, I don't know. What, I left? I mean, like he doesn't even know why he went rogue. He doesn't even remember that him even going rogue. So yeah, so I think they could have gone in a bit more detail with Winter Soldier and his story. You know, that was definitely something that they could have done a bit better. And then another flaw of mine, this is just maybe just a gripe. It doesn't really affect the movie as a whole. But I don't know. I just felt like compared to the book, they could have done better. Is Agent 13. Now, Agent 13 is a Shield agent, and and in the book she is a prominent figure in the story. She's like very involved. She's very involved. She works alongside Captain America. And she was very involved in the story. I remember this in the current book. A boyfriend of hers got killed by the Winter Soldier, and she was on this revenge plot. And then Captain America was trying to convince her to stick to the justice system and don't just kill the guy out of revenge and everything. And then in the movie, they got Emily Van Camp, who's very famous actress as a lead as Emily Thorne in the Revenge TV series. And the thing is, they get this very great actress who I think could have done a great job, but yet she's hardly in the movie. She's like hardly in there. She's like in 3 scenes. Three scenes in total. Like 3 or 4 scenes in total. And in those scenes, she's got like 1, maybe 2 lines that she says, and that's it. And then I'm just like, what? That is like just such a waste of character. Then if you were gonna waste the talent and potential of that actress, why not just get some random woman to play it? I mean, because anybody could have. I mean, because what they made her do in the movie, the scenes they made her do in the movie, anybody could have done that. That was like anybody could have done it. And now she's like, I don't know. That was one of my flaws. I just think it was a waste of a potentially good character. And I think they could have done a much better job of that. But anyway, it's fine. But anyway, it's fine. It's Marvel. I'll forgive them for that. But I don't know. I just think that they could have done a bit better with that thing. But otherwise than that, the movie is great. It is such a good movie. That the fight scenes are good. The story is good. The story is very compelling. It's very government conspiracy type. So it's a bit different. It's not like in Thor where there's like dark elves threatening the Earth, or Man of Steel where there's aliens threatening the Earth, or Iron Man where there's some guy guy out on revenge on him and everything. No, it's a good old fashioned government conspiracy story, which I thought was pretty interesting for a Captain America movie. And it's a great movie. Everyone is played very well. One character I think stood out a lot very well was Anthony Mackie when he played as his role as the Falcon. I think the Falcon was very good. Falcon was very well done. I mean, because in the comic books he's just like this guy that just flies around, and that's all he can really do. But then with Winter Soldier, he's got this Buzz Lightyear wing jetpack thing, which like comes up like this and he flies. And while he's flying, he's got these 2 pistols. He just like shoots as he's flying. And I think Falcon was very well done. I don't think that they really could have done him better. And his suit looks much cooler than it does in the comics. The comics it looks pretty gay. So I think in that movie his suit was very well done, very militaristic, very just overall very well done costume. Cap is great as well in the movie. I think Chris Evans does a great job as Captain America. A better job in my opinion than he did as Johnny Storm. I mean, he was a great Johnny Storm in the Fantastic Four movies, but as Captain America, I think he did a much better job of that. And it's an overall great movie. You guys definitely go watch it. And then just one more thing to talk about: the post-credit scene. Now, the post-credit scene is supposed to give us a little preview to what's going on with the Avengers and everything. In the movie, they in the post-credit scene, they probably show this German guy with a spyglass and everything. I'm not sure exactly who he's supposed to be. I think he's maybe supposed to be one of Captain America's villains from the 40s, because a lot of Captain America's villains from the 40s come back into the modern days. Uh, it's a long story. Don't ask, but yeah, a lot of Captain America's villains come back. He doesn't really get any new modern villains. Really, most of his villains are just guys that either froze or were either frozen or were brought back by a tesseract, or I don't know, something like that. Uh, but anyway, look, this is a great movie, and I think they did a great job. But anyway, with this post credit scene, now in the post credit scene, they show two figures. Now, if you're not into the comic books, you won't know who they are. The one guy who was running around in his cell had like sort of like the super speed sort of thing. And that was Quicksilver. Now he's Magneto's son. He's supposed to be like the Marvel's version of the Flash. He can run super fast. That's his power. And then the chick with who was like holding the two blocks and then smashed them together at the end. That's Scarlet Witch, and she's got these psychic mental powers. Anyway, and then now here's a predicament that really presents itself here. Now, Josh Whedon came up when he was writing the script for Avengers 2. He said he wanted to do Black Widow and Scarlet Witch, and I was like, okay, cool, that's fine. But what about Fox and the X-Men? And now Fox, they said to Marvel, okay, fine, you guys can do Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch. You can do them if you want to, but then you can't mention the X-Men. You can't mention Magneto. You can't mention the Mutants. You can't mention any of that. So now, here's my gripe with the thing. How are they going to explain the powers? How are they going to explain their superpowers? I mean, the only way they can explain the superpowers is that they come up with something completely different, which is going to go against the comic books and against the mythos. And now, Fox is already. I'm not sure about Scarlet Witch, but Fox has already doing Quicksilver is going to be in the next X-Men Days of Future Past. So there presents a problem. Now this year we're going to see Quicksilver in Days of Future Past, and then we're going to see him again in Avengers, played by different actors and with completely different storylines, which just doesn't make any sense. I don't know. I don't know. I think Josh Whedon should have just left it alone. I mean, because Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch, the story behind them in the Avengers, it is interesting, and it was very interesting to read in the comics and everything. But the thing is, they should have just left it alone, because now it just brings this whole complexity to it, and it's way too complex, and it's just it is just way too complex. It's just way too complex of a storyline, and I don't know. I don't know. They should have just left it alone. They should have rather just added like Black Panther, or maybe brought Ant-Man in a bit earlier than what they're planning. I don't know. But anyway, look, this movie was great. I really liked it. My favorite scene in the movie probably was the scene where Captain America is in the elevator, and then all these SHIELD agents are in the elevator with him, and then they all start fights, and he starts beating them all up in the elevator, and then after he beats them all up, he shields on the ground, and then he kicks it, and then flips up and he catches it. It's just silly moments like that just make the movie great. I mean, it's also like in Thor 2, when Thor comes to Jane Foster's apartment, and then he walks in, and then there's the coat hanger, and there's the hat, there's the rack there where where people hang their hats or their scarves, whatever, and he puts his hammer there, and it hangs there. It's just silly moments like that just make the movie cool. But anyway, this movie was great. I would probably give it a 9 out of 10. I think it's very, very good. Obviously, we still have to see Amazing Spider-Man 2, X-Men, and Guardians of the Galaxy before we can say whether this is the best movie of the year. But overall it was a good movie, and I enjoyed it. So and I really can't wait to see what Marvel will come up with next. But anyway, thanks for watching this. Please like, subscribe, and comment, and share. Cheers, guys.